that's entirely your guys' strategy. But hugely bullish. I think everyone's on agreeing with this new strategy. There is no minimum or maximum buy limits there at all now, whereas previously that was limited to the first 15 minutes, like 5 minutes for 5 BNB, then 10, then 25. Now it's just nothing at all. There's no limits. You don't need it. Being that we're encouraging Seifu swaps, you can only buy them with Seifu now, right? Seifu and Esco, and then after 15 minutes, well, whatever the price is, it doesn't really matter. Being that you're going to now see the influx of other buyers come in, and you won't really need to limit those amounts of minimum or maximum, because a great deal of the chunk of buys have already been done through the Seifu pool. So it kills two birds with one stone here, I believe, and I think it's a great move. So the other thing on top of this is the huge, mega, ultra wide spread partnership that I announced there as well. There is a lot more talk, a lot more stuff that I need to bring to you guys about that. But just let it be said that what the utility of Seifu Go is to have multiple partnerships in place. So not just 2 or 3. I'm literally talking about hundreds. Again, hundreds. All right. So if I can, should I say rather, partner with multiple projects, and not just drip or anything like that. Like it's literally all the Binance Smart Chain projects that are established for at least 4 months onwards. All right. That are in the market. You guys have heard of them. Like, they're not rugs. They're legitimate projects. They turn over volume. Those projects are what I want to and will partner with for free, all right, and create liquidity pools with them. So that won't be done in the first 2 days, all right? So when Seifu Go launches, we need to launch that directly with Seifu and the BNB pairs, all right? Have the arbitrage in place. And then after that, so give it maybe 3 days or 4 days, then yes, I will literally create multiple liquidity pools, and you'll have the announcement there to what liquidity pools will be made, will be created, and which projects that will be partnered. But let the word be said again: hundreds. Okay, hundreds, and all that liquidity I'll be adding myself. Okay. So, there won't be any cost for those projects there at all. They'll literally be having a free partnership with us. There's no subscription cost or anything like that. But what that'll do, guys, it'll act like a mega catalyst to bring a flood, a F-ton of users and members over to Seifu ecosystem, right? So they'll be aware of Seifu Go, they'll be aware of Seifu, and then they'll be aware of Vulcan, and then this whole thing, this whole big conglomerate of a thing will just head over to the Vulcan blockchain by going multi-chain later on when Vulcan's out, right? So there'll be so much volume on not just the Binance Smart Chain in the interim, but then on Vulcan there as well. So this whole thing is a gigantic big move here that I'm orchestrating, but I really do believe there'll be billions of volume a day, not just millions. I'm talking about billions. Like, if we can partner with hundreds of projects, all right, DeFi projects, and look, one of those projects might only be doing $5,000 worth a day volume. The other one might be doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a day in volume, and the other ones might be doing millions. So if you add them all together in a total big arbitrage pool, then you're talking about billions of volume. All right. So Seifu Go's price literally is only one way, and that's to go up. All right, because of all that volume and the way that everything works between all these liquidity pools. There's so much arbitrage opportunity here. It is honestly a day traders and swing traders' dream. This has never been done before. It's never been achieved before. It's never been conceptualized before until I obviously stepped into the mix, right? So yeah, huge news. So if anyone's got any questions, put your hand up. I'll welcome you into the stage. A&R Crypto, if you want to hop on, I believe you've got your hand up. If you still want to chat. Anybody else, by the way, stick your hand up. And let's get things going. Looks like everyone's really happy with the announcement. Everyone's really, really bullish. Everyone's talking positive vibes in the chat. And have a look at Seifu's price right now, right? So previous to the announcement this morning, I mean, Seifu's price was hovering around 78 cents, and we're already closing in now on 90 cents. So that's a pretty big move, right? I mean, even in literally the last hour and a half, we're up 14.5%. So, heading up to that 15% mark. So yeah, like I said, always Seifu's price is really undervalued, hugely undervalued. And as you know, when Seifu / Esco pool hits, that is at $1, yes. And then it will only go up from there. So the other question before I bring a couple people up on stage here, I see a few people have requested to speak, is the price of Seifu Go, right? So I'm just pulling a number out thin air, right? Just let's say once you buy in with Seifu / Esco, let's say the price is at $1,000 after the first 15 minutes. I'm just pulling a number out thin air, right? Which it could definitely be $1,000. If it reaches $1,000, then after the first 15 minutes, once the BNB pool activates, well, can you still buy Seifu Go at $1? The answer is no. So the answer is whatever the price is after that first 15 minutes, when the Seifu pool's done, then yes, that price carries over to the BNB pool. So that's why you're incentivized now and encouraged, and it's silly if you are waiting for the BNB pool, because you would have missed all that price action and appreciation in the first 15 minutes, because that $1,000 per Seifu Go will now be $1,000 compared to BNB. So it's now worth more than BNB pool. So for the amount that you're checking in with BNB, you're getting far less Seifu Go now than what you would have got with Seifu originally. So just let that be said, because we can't obviously allow, it doesn't make any sense for people to buy in with Seifu and Seifu Go at $1, and then it goes up to 1,000, and then we activate the second BNB pool, and now it's at $1 again. That makes no sense, because then people will be, come on, it makes no sense at all. So it has to be the same price, and therefore the other side, when people buy with BNB, you should have another leg up, right? People will be buying, and then that price will keep on going up, and both those pools will then be at an equal value, right? You'll still have the arbitrage ability, obviously, yes. That'll carry over into Seifu, and it'll be fine the same way. It's just a much better way to do things now. So with that all being said, let's start over. I believe you were the first one who had his hand up. Come on stage. And if Let's Start Over doesn't want to come on, you got Mr. Haftaway. Here he is. Can you hear me, Mr. Haftaway? You're on mute, by the way.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, man. How are we this morning?
I just wanted to come out and say that you truly are a legend, for one, and I look up to you highly, and I just want to thank you for all the work you're doing with Seifu and Vulcan and Uxie Labs and everything combined. But my question is how how are you making this possible to create hundreds of partnerships, and how are you doing it for free as well?
Well, first of all, thanks for the words of encouragement and feedback that you're happy with the way I'm doing things. So thanks for that first. The second part to your question, which is creating liquidity pools, anybody can do that. Like, you could create your own liquidity pool now, but it comes down to not necessarily who creates it. It's about who's adding the liquidity into that pool. So that's where that word free that you used, obviously it's not free. It's me that has to put in that liquidity to bootstrap it myself. So all those liquidity pools, let's say if we start them all at $5,000 each and there's hundreds, well, you're talking about millions of dollars here that I would myself need to create. So yeah, I'm creating the LPs. I'm also adding the liquidity in there. And then the more that obviously gets traded through all those LPs, well, as a business model, then we're getting all those liquidity fees, like LP tokens, which we can then later on turn around and obviously take some profit from there as well. So it's a revenue generative model there, but it's definitely not free. So where the money comes from is literally my pocket. And then later, once it obviously shifts to Vulcan, then we can work things out on how that's going to be structured. But yeah, not free, my friend. It's just my way of giving back to the community and doing what needs to be done to make sure this is a highly successful and utilitive project.
Understood. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Cool, man. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's all for now.
Cool, man. Thanks, Mr. Hathaway.
Uh,
All right. You got my block verse. You are invited, my friend. Mr. Blockverse. Nope. Blue Warrior.
Can you hear me, Brad?
Yeah, Mr. Blockverse is here. Cool, man. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, perfect. No, thank you for the updates. This is really good. The question that I have is about the utility of SAFU. So, I can see the utility that is there for now for SAFU, and what is the plan for its utility post people swap it for ESGO?
Well, the utility remains the same as what it always has been throughout the last year, right? That the main utility is the arbitrage that you can use SAFU to now not only buy SAFU Go with, so that's a utility in of itself as a catalyst to get in, and then you're going to have the arbitrage ability for SAFU Go's price and SAFU as a peg. But over and above that, then obviously the push is for SAFU Go to have the main utility and not necessarily SAFU. SAFU will always be there. It's not going away. Okay, it's a hyper deflationary token, much in the same way as Bitcoin is, right? I'm not trying to say SAFU is Bitcoin by any means, but Bitcoin really doesn't really have that much utility, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a safe haven. I mean, it's a speculative asset people hold because they assume that it's going to keep on going up in value, and through more computers and through a bigger network that keeps on going, then Bitcoin's price should in theory keep on going up. But you can't really use it in the real world or do too much with it, to be honest with you. So, and the same way as SAFU here. I mean, we're a deflationary asset. There's only going to be so many SAFU around, and as people continue to buy it and sell it or hold it, then I mean, if they're buying and holding and not selling, well, you're going to see the asset go up in price, much in the same way as Bitcoin. So utility is a strong word there. I think people are looking for more than what's really required. I mean, we are in the DeFi space, and 99.9% of projects just have no utility at all. I mean, have a look at Pepe token that came out, right? That went up, thousands of X's. What utility does that have? Absolutely F all. And they actually say that on their website. It's literally no utility. It does nothing, but it's went up so much money. And we're all in this same boat together, is to make money out of investing in something. So to question that utility and demand utility, it's not really needed. What's needed is a correct marketing and advertising and a correct strategy to excel the pace of price appreciation. And that's what I believe I'm doing here with SAFU. So that's the best way I could answer the question. But the true utility is obviously on SAFU Go side, being that all the partnership agreements can come through. And if you've read our white paper, we've got some ways of generating revenue and more utility through licensing agreements and things like that. So there you go.
That's great. Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, no, I was just wondering because most of the community would have swapped their SAFU for SAFU X, and there would be, not many who would be left with SAFU at the moment. So I thought I'll check with you on that. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
No worries, my Blockverse. Thanks very much for joining. Blue Warrior, how are we, man?
Hi, Brian. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
Hi, Brian. This is Paulie calling from Costa Rica. You
Oh,
might
wow.
also know me as Vitacalis. I'm a good pal of Prado's. Firstly, I just wanted to say I've been with you or with Seifu since week one, March last year, and I can honestly say it's the best financial move I've ever been involved with, and I've never known a platform with so many multi income streams. It's just unheard of, and what you're doing is amazing. I mean, you're a true visionary, and I thank you for that, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this.
Sure.
You mentioned that you would get out of Seifu at the $95 price, whenever that might be. Has your mind changed since these new concepts that you're introducing? Is it still going to be $95? And how long do you think it will be to get to that $95 in your humble opinion?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously my financial situation is different than yours or anyone else's there as well. So it's not like I need the cash and have to sell to, buy groceries or anything like that. So, I'm treating Seifu as a long-term investment, and that coincides with why I created the LP to be locked for 13 years, 13 and a half years to begin with, is because I've got the sight of greater lengths of time. 13 years is just huge, right? So that's why. So when I look at $95, I don't really have an exact timeline. Like, I can't tell you if it's going to hit $95 in 3 months or whether it's going to take 3 years to do that. I really don't know. All I can do is do what I can to encourage people to buy and hold, and to then use that utility with Seifu Go, and to bring on partners and do everything that a business needs to do to grow. I think if you talk to any kind of millionaire or really successful person, they don't concentrate on the money. All right. And neither do I. I don't concentrate on the money. I concentrate on what needs to be done to build and market and advertise and do all these great things. And the money then just comes naturally free flowing afterwards. So yeah, the $95 price in mind, I believe is accurate. That's just what I've set my kind of profit taking range to be at. So I'm not saying I'm going to dump my whole bag at $95 or anything, but that's when it hits that price, I'll be then thinking to take some sort of level of, some sort of profit at that stage or something like that, which I'll obviously make public. But until we reach anywhere near that, I've got no reason to sell or take profit. And the only thing I've been doing over the last weeks is literally buying. I just bought another $40,000 USD worth today of Seifu. So I'll keep on accumulating, and that's all. But I can't answer your timeline there. I really don't know how long that's going to take. I think, though, with all these new projects that I do want to create partnerships with, they'll all be then aware of Seifu, and that'll just create a lot more burning. And with all that burning, there's going to be much less of supply on Seifu, and therefore the price will go up. So the more that Seifu can be burnt, the less there is circulating, and then the more that price goes up. So that's where my head's at there. So the real answer is, how fast can we burn Seifu? And that's what I'm trying to now obviously do, right? Burn.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Can I ask a quick other question? Do you still see us hitting the mainnet launch time between the 27th and the 7th of June, or is that something you can't tell us for certain yet?
No, look, look, we're always aiming for Q2. I really, at this stage, see no reason why we can't deliver on Q2. Now, Q2 does mean like June or towards the end of June. So when I did put out, or when we, not necessarily I, but when we, put out the official Medium announcement back, I think maybe 6 weeks ago now, to say that, might have been 5 weeks, something like that, 5-6 weeks ago. And we put out an announcement to say, okay, between May the 27th and I think it was June the 1st or something like that, around that mark, that we were looking at releasing on mainnet buy. I think right now, given the circumstance that we're in, and we are speeding things up, and now the DApp starter is going to be released next week. We're onboarding nodes like through the KYC. All that stuff's been done. The rebasing mechanism is now working 100%. Like, there was a lot of roadblocks before that we have now worked out. Like there's no real roadblocks anymore per se. The things that we still need to build out, obviously, is the UXI decks, as well as the Firestorm elements and a couple of other little things that need to be done. But I don't think that should take too long. Like we've literally done 95% of the work, and there's only that little bit more to go. So, can I sit here and tell you that it's going to be on May the 27th or June the 1st for Vulkan to hit mainnet? I can't. I don't want to be saying that we can't release at that time. But if you put me on the spot and said, look, what do you think, Brian? I think it's going to be probably more towards mid-June than anything. I really don't think it's going to be released in May, at the end of May. We're going to definitely be leading into June, I dare say. But what date of June, I just don't know. But Q2 is still on the mark. So for those people that think, hey, Vulkan's going to be pushed out to July or August or anything, like that falls in Q3. And there's no thought in my mind to say it's going to be Q3 at this stage right now. So
no, that's a very fair
all I
answer. I really appreciate your time, Brian. Thank you very much.
Awesome, Blue Warrior. Thanks very much.
Take care.
Cool. All right. Let's start over. I think you wanted to hit the stage before, but you didn't
Yes,
join.
yes. I didn't see the notification before. Thank you for taking my call. And one thing is, you are the legend, my man. I mean, I don't have words to express. I mean, I've been with you since day one. So that explains a lot. So my question or concern is about the launch time window. Is there any room for you to consider shorten the window for launch?
Shorten the window, as in shorten the first 15 minutes to less?
No,
Is that
no. The launch time, like you said, any 5
the
hours.
27th.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I get what you mean. Sorry. Okay. So look, let me answer this as well. So May 27th is the date that I've set right now. That could actually be pushed forward a little bit. So it's not going to be later. It's not going to be May the 28th. That could actually be pushed forward a little bit earlier, depending on where we're at with CoinMarketCap being listed. But hopefully, I mean, I'll put May 27th because I don't want to delay or extend it. That word delay that people use. I'd rather try to push it forward to May 25th if we can. But right now, I'll just keep it at May 27th. As far as the 5-hour window when it's launched, because it's a fair launch, but it's also a stealth launch. So it's a fair stealth launch. And anytime in that 5 window, we can go live. I just want to obviously make this launch a purely hyped event. And, I believe that a 5-hour window is the right amount to achieve that. Anything more, people lose interest. And anything less, people may not be available at their computer to execute a transaction. So that's why it's 5 hours, to try to make sure people are there and they have got the time off work or whatever that they need to be sorted. So look, could have I done it at like a 4-hour window or something? Potentially. I just think 5 hours is the right thing. But I just, look, I don't want to say that it's absolutely off the table. Like I can't reduce it down to 4 hours or something. I mean, I definitely could. I just don't see it as a real reason to have to do it. But again, it's all down to the community, and everything I do is about community feedback. So, if the community, and not just yourself, let's start over, but everyone else part of our community is saying, hey, you know what? We all think 4 hours is better because of X, Y, and Z reason, and then everyone's in agreement and kind of demanding it, then I'm not going to go against the community's wishes. Then I will do it. But at this stage, I haven't been shown any reason why to reduce it. Yeah.
Thank you for answering. I just curious about that. All right. Yep. Thank you.
Cool, man. No, thank you so much, and thanks for being with me from day one, like you said as well. So it's great to have someone like yourself that's such a great.
As long as you are here. Yep.
I'll always be here, buddy.
All right. All right. You're welcome.
All right. I might bring on Jay Legend. Let's see what Jay Legend has to say. Jay, calling out Jay. I'm gonna give you. Oh, here he is. I was just about to cancel you out there, man. Thanks for joining.
All right, buddy. How you doing? It took 4 days of good showers, and you come up with this big old bombshell on us, huh?
That's what I do, buddy. The longer time I'm away from something, the greater bombshell it's going to be. I can tell you that.
Wow, I'm super excited. I'm super excited even more for Vulcan being a node owner. I love to hear volume coming to the blockchain. I love to hear that. But here's my question: can you do us just one more big favor? And I know you can. Before you close up Uxie Sacrifice, let us see what we can do with profits from esco, so we want to get Uxie. We definitely want to get Uxie Sacrifice. But if you can push the dates and help us out, it'll be appreciated.
I'll tell you this, that I've heard the same from the community, and our team are kind of discussing that at the moment. I'm not saying right now that it will be extended, but there is a possibility of it being extended, not because we want to raise a bunch of cash or anything like that. It's only because the community, like you're just saying, are kind of saying that they want to use their profits and put it onto the Vulcan ecosystem, which is Uxie, and they just want more ability to do that. So yeah, we've heard that loud and clear. We're discussing it. So I think if we were to extend that sacrifice, then you're going to be hearing an announcement obviously before Seifu Go hits its launch. So within the next 2 weeks, if we do extend it, and if there are any, let's say, extra bonuses on top of that, with that extension, then we'll let you guys know. But we've heard it loud and clear. I just can't say right now if it's a yes or no. Let us work with that and see what we can do.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, man. I mean, this is some huge news, and I'm just stoked as right now.
As you should be. So yeah, awesome to hear. But yeah, let us work with that Uxie sacrifice thing, and we'll come back with some more information shortly if we decide to extend it or add any extra bonuses as well. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Okay.
Cool, man. Thanks, Jay. All right, last person, the one, the only Gia legend. Come on down to the stage. The price is right.
My first.
Here he is.
Okay. How can I not hear you? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Gia. Hi.
Okay, great. Hi, Brian.
First of all, how's your cow, Gia?
Oh, I had to leave my my farm like a while ago because of the family situation. So my baby sister is taking care of it, and it's doing well. Happy.
Good.
All the news.
Healthy cows.
Yeah, Basie. That's her name, Basie. Yeah, I was late to the talk tonight. Maybe I don't know what time it is there, but in our place it's like morning. But I heard people saying that they were proud and happy to be in the pre-sale of Seifu. Me too. I had a very fast finger. The only problem is my internet. It's not that fast. Yeah, but I got in pre-sale of Seifu too, and I was so happy about it. Really, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a chance to spot my latest video with at least 30 streams of incomes in our giant ecosystem. But I counted and I found like at least six streams of passive income from Seifu Go. That is hilarious. That's really a genius when you look into the ecosystem that you have been building. There are just so much. And so I want to say that I have no question, but I want to say to the community that based on my experience, I would say that the mechanism itself, that the BLT, I call you BLT team, has been building, the mechanism itself will draw a lot of attention and investments from other blockchains. And I was talking about cross-chain feature. When we move, when we go further in the future, that will happen, I'm sure. Cross-chain feature, and that alone can draw a lot of more like new capital to our ecosystem. and we will be very happy. So if you are in this ecosystem, my friends, my family, Seifu family, Vulcan family, you will be very happy. That's my belief. And I'm very proud to be in this journey with the community. And I just say, Brian, bro, you're a genius. And I thank you for everything you have been working so hard for us. And so take good care of yourself. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that there, Gia. And as you said, everyone's in really good hands. I mean, I know that because I've got a strong moral compass and ethical compass, and I'm always going to do what's right for the community. So I think I proved myself. But yeah, thanks for those kind words. And with that, let's wrap this one up. I think it was just a impromptu, quick AMA. I don't know how long we've been going for. Probably about 30 minutes or so, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully someone's recorded this one because I didn't, and I think it'd be great for other people to hear it back. So yeah, with that, if you've been in the audience and you've been recording it, please share it in main chat or put it on YouTube or something with a link so we can put it in our past AMA's channel for everyone else to listen to. So yes, bullish. Let's go, guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.